Imagine shaping the destiny of a nation, only to see it turn against you in terror. In 1793, Maximilien Robespierre was feared and adored, calling himself the Incorruptible. His word became law, his enemies vanished overnight, and his Committee of Public Safety ruled France with chilling efficiency. But how did this revolutionary hero become the architect of terror, and what sparked his spectacular downfall? France was in chaos. Revolution had toppled the king, but new threats arose on every side. Foreign invaders, royalist conspiracies, and hunger in the streets. The guillotine became a symbol. Robespierre seized power, promising virtue and unity. Yet his dream came at a terrible cost. Under Robespierre's reign of terror, more than 17,000 people lost their lives to the blade. Streets echoed with cries for liberté, égalité, fraternité, even as neighbors betrayed neighbors and suspicion drowned hope. Robespierre believed terror was justice, prompt, severe, inflexible. In his eyes, only the purest patriots deserved to survive, and anyone who questioned the revolution was labeled a traitor. Paranoia gripped Paris. No one, noble, peasant, politician, was truly safe. Old friends of the revolution, like Danton and Desmoulins, died by Robespierre's order. The line between justice and vengeance blurred. And then, in the summer of 1794, something shifted. Robespierre's insistence on virtue became fanatic. He launched the Festival of the Supreme Being, imagining a society ruled by reason and morality. Some saw a visionary, others saw a zealot, even a would-be dictator. Rumors swirled. Who was next on his list? Would Robespierre's accusations turn on his own allies? Fear gripped even the most radical revolutionaries. In a stunning move, Robespierre gave defiant speeches in the National Convention, hinting at secret traitors but naming no names. His silence terrified deputies. Anyone might be next. Suspicion became paranoia. Paranoia became conspiracy. On July 27, 1794, 9 Thermidor in the revolutionary calendar, the convention struck. Shouting, "Down with the tyrant," they interrupted Robespierre. Speeches turned into chaos. He was declared an outlaw, his words drowned by a furious assembly. He fled to the Hôtel de Ville, hoping for rescue, but was cornered by soldiers. In the confusion, Robespierre was shot. Some say he tried to take his own life. Bloodied and broken, he awaited judgment. As dawn broke, Robespierre and his closest allies were hauled to the guillotine. The same crowd that once listened to his speeches now watched in silence. Without a trial, Robespierre's head fell, ending the reign of terror. The next day, Paris exhaled. The prisons emptied. The revolution staggered towards a new chapter, scarred but alive. Robespierre's legacy endures. Was he a visionary betrayed by excess, or a tyrant undone by his own fanaticism? His downfall warns us. When virtue becomes violence, even those who dream of freedom can create nightmares. But history never sleeps. In the ashes of one terror, new ambitions rise. Who would seize power next? And could France ever achieve the liberty Robespierre promised? That answer, as always, waits just beyond the edge of the blade.